Hey guys, VaulSC here. Of course, we're taking a look at infiNity, the game. Yet again, Ikari. It's my third outing with Ikari. Really enjoying them. Really cool faction, and looking forward to trying some more variations of my favorite list. Playing against Vanilla YuJing now, so we're going to be doing it. This game's just going to be the plain old Annihilation mission, which despite it being the simplest mission, we barely ever play it. I think there are a lot of people out there who go, oh, okay, let's just play Annihilation today because we can't be bothered choosing a scenario. Whereas most of us are the opposite. We're always trying to play scenarios to prepare us for tournaments and make us better infiNity players. But that results in us very rarely playing Annihilation, which actually can be a much trickier mission than it looks, because you've got to conserve certain models in your army. You've got to kill things. You've got to weigh the trade-off. It can actually be a very difficult mission. And of course, assassinating the enemy data tracker is also huge as well. Okay, just a little bit of a look at the battlefield layout this time. What pen are we going to go with today? I'll grab a, how about this one here? So I've laid out the table so that there's a lot of high ground on this corner, so the person deploying there can take advantage of that. But there's an oblique sort of setup here where there are these trucks and these bits of terrain here where you're sort of covering some high angles from the side, still allowing you to move up through here as well. And then there's a lot of open area on this little bit here. So it should be a bit of an interesting one. My opponent has taken the table side that he preferred after winning the dice roll. And I'm going, no, actually, that didn't happen. I won the dice roll and opted for first turn. Even though I knew that it would be better to, pick table side, I just want to practice a bit more with first turn with Ikari just to see what I can achieve. So let's just go into it. Now, the last couple of games I played was using the Lil Hurries team with the 2 Tankos and the Brawler. This time I'm going to be trying out the Wu Ming and the Brawler setup just with the HMG here. And then you've got the chain rifle, a submachine gun guy here, and obviously the Brawler. The merit of this little setup is that you get that HMG, which is something you can't with the Tankos, and that 5 dice coming around a flank, ballisticals 13, very powerful. And of course, during the smoke cloud periods of the push, you've got the sniper rifle guy, and then reactively, the chain rifle is a lot better than anything that the Tankos have to offer close range. You will miss out a little bit on the Blitzens, but to be honest, the HMG is a lot more useful than that. The Wu Ming do cost a bit more points, though, and aren't as good in close combat as the Tankos, unfortunately, but we're going to give them a go. Now, there's a flash pulse bot at the back, a Crackot Renegade with rolling up climbing plus extra speed with his Red Fury up top there. To the right-hand side is where I'm deploying most things. So we've got a single Tanko out in a zone with a Flamen Spear and Contender. I think when he's just going off on his own on a separate flank, he'll occasionally find opportunities to use those longer range guns, so I prefer that. Little Warcore on the extreme right-hand side, Brawler Lieutenant at the back. There's a link team made up of 2 basic Kaisotsus here, 2 forward observing Kaisotsus here and here, the Tanko missile launcher, of course, and the Doctor just right next to him to help him out if he goes down. There's another photograph there of the side-on view on the right-hand flank. Okay, just talking you through my opponent's list. He's running Guangxi here, another Guangxi here, Control Device, Warcore, Shaolin Monk. This is a Ruishi. This is a Pelbot, Helper Bot. So there to help it out. Actually, that's not even attached to an engineer. It's attached to a doctor, so I'm not too sure what's going on there. My opponent making a really cool conversion for his Yanhuo HRMC, just taking it off the shoulder, putting it as an underslung gun, makes it look way better. Really like it. He's also added a bullet belt since this photo was taken. So Yanhuo HRMC Lieutenant with Doctor next to him, Guangxi nearby, and a flash pulse spot nearby in the center of the deployment zone. He's also converted up his Crackot Renegade by using an Osnat, but putting a YuJing sword on the edge of it. And then there's his troopers down here. He's running a Celestial Guard hacker. And you can see a little Guangxi in the background, extreme right-hand flank. Let's take a look at that right-hand flank right now. So There's that Guangxi we were just looking at, and there's the Flash Pulse bot plus HRMC setup that we're just looking at. It's also got a Shaolin Monk on this side of the table too, and of course a Guilong forward observer right here. And because he's been playing the Guilong hacker so much lately, I'm just sort of worried that if the Wuming move past as they're planning on doing, I might get hacked. So that could be awkward. Yeah. My reserve model, the Desperado, ready to go through and lay down smoke for this this dedicated push that I'm going to be making. And the data tracker going to be the Kaisatsu way at the back here, just where it's a bit safer. My opponent's going to choose his Doctor to be the data tracker, just since it's going to stay back the entire game. So Ikari going first, Yuan moving down this left-hand side just to assist the Wuming on their little run. Desperado also moving past him, getting ready to lob down some smoke, although failing the smoke attempt on the first impetuous roll. With some irregular orders, though, we are moving through, putting down smoke grenades, getting ready to just basically fire through this angle. We want to eliminate that Shaolin Monk and that flashball spot first. Where's my cam? Then after we've done that, if we can get a smoke grenade in here somewhere, we might be able to polish off some guys right at the back just by standing in the exact right spots before finally ending the turn with the Wuming sort of in close combat with the Sujian is the plan there. That can easily be achieved if you just set up a spot right here with your first short skill, you force a change face or a reset, then the second short skill move with 4 inches round into base contact with them, and then the orders from group 2 can be used to move in the Yuan or the Desperado into close combat as well, and potentially take them out since they're better in close combat than he is. So there it goes. Everybody's moving up, just getting in position, spending a lot of orders moving, basically. Once the HMG gets into position here, starting to annihilate the Shaolin Monk and the Fugazi, the YuJing version of the Flash Pulse bot, just as predicted, and with 5 dice, very easy to do that. So we've eventually moved the entire Harry's team through the flank to this spot here. And that's going to allow us to just carefully snipe a little bit of a careful angle across here with the submachine gun. So this guy moves to this spot here, fires a submachine gun at the Guangxi, and then later on he should even be able to take out this guy if there's enough time, but there probably won't be. So with that done, it's now a matter of just moving him to this point here, and then swapping over here. And we will have killed effectively a Guangxi, Shaolin Monk, and a bot. This is just a good way to start the game, just to weaken one enemy flank and just really put the pressure on. By the way, it turned out that this Guilong up here was not a assault hacker. I did probe for that. I knew that if he did reveal an assault hacker, I'd just reset and then move up the stairs there with the Yuan and kill him, since the Yuan's in group 2. There we are, Wuming gunning down the Guangxi in short order with the SMG. And that leads us to a spot where we're sort of just pilfering everything else and then moving back. So they're just situated there. Okay, so a bit precarious though, because we're running out of orders quite quickly. The HMG is moving right back into the cover of this, just so he can't be seen from the back line by the HRMC. The Brawler will probably get taken out pretty easily by anything just moving around here, whether it's a Rushi or the HRMC repositioning. But I have accomplished the goal of getting this guy into close combat with Sujian. I might even be able to take that out this turn, and if I can do that, this Link team will have done its job. I've done a pretty good trade there for Annihilation. So zooming around with the Desperado, just driving straight on in. We're also using command tokens to coordinate the Desperado with the Yuan so it can get up into a position to kill the Guilong as well. So if I am able to deal with a Guilong, a Sujian, Flashball Spot, Shaolin Monk, a couple of Guangxi, this will be a really, really good turn. So Desperado driving right through. She's got 2 dice with CC 18, I believe, against 1 dice with a lower CC stat. But sadly, luck does not go my way here, and unfortunately the Sujian wins the close combat and kills the Desperado. So all of those orders spent just to get my bite killed really feels bad. Bit of bad luck there, but you know, it wasn't a sure thing. I don't have any martial arts. I'm not CC 20, so it was a bit risky. It's just that this was an unlikely outcome. Yuan is able to discover the Guilong and go after him. But the Guilong, I believe, puts a mine down or something like that. I can't quite remember the outcome of that. In fact, I believe the Yuan might even have been taken out by the Guilong later in this game. We'll get to that later. So, not really ideal first turn, although I feel like looking back at it, I think I got a bit greedy. I was really asking for trouble there by assaulting that flank so heavily. what I should really have done is just harassed him a bit more with the YuJing and the Desperado, or just moved out a little bit with the Wu Ming Link team and then pulled back and allowed him to leave his deployment zone with the Sujian without tying that up and just wearing it, because the Sujian would have had to have walked through the line of fire of my missile launcher in ARO. So if I'd thought about that a bit carefully, I shouldn't have been so worried about the Sujian. I should have just eliminated the smoke grenade dispenser, the Shaolin monk, and been a bit more conservative with my turn. Wait for turn 2 to really make the main push. Anyway, YuJing first turn, Guangxi impetuousing out here, just getting on. So you can see their positioning, throwing a smoke grenade as well. They are up against like a war core and even a Tanko Flaming Spear trying to provide arrows, but those guys missing. Okay, so his HRMC has to spend a couple of orders, but he is able to first move to here and then move out further here a little bit to take out the Brawler multi-sniper, and he is successfully able to do that with his HRMC, even though he doesn't have cover when he does it. In fact, looking at this photo, my opponent intended to do that initially, then decided against it, and decided, well, I don't want to take that approach. He's just going to climb up the top of this first, and then stand somewhere up here, and then move over to here to actually see the Brawler that way. So this photo shows what he was originally going to do. Then he goes and moves him up on top of the building, moves around to a spot where he can actually, first of all, just barely get line of sight to the Wu Ming HMG, who does have cover. Sadly for me, only a single short skill required to destroy this Wu Ming. I thought that with 2 dice shooting back and having cover and armor 4 and 2 wounds, I could have at least held him off for a couple of orders, but nothing there. A bit unlucky just losing him straight away. So it's easier for him to just move around and kill the Brawler from that angle after that, especially since the Brawler's no longer the link team. So things going really well for my opponent in terms of dice. We have the Krakot Renegade just repositioning a little bit with his SMG there, or 2 SMGs. Just jumping down. He's got super jump here, so he's able to jump down. And then walking over here. So he's just walking around. He's going to come over to here and basically save this guy. To do so, I believe he has to move through the line of sight of a missile launcher. So he's sacrificing the Krakot because my Tanko missile launcher and the Kaisotsu team has got a line just barely down here. So he has to cross that line. But once he gets there, he should be able to either berserk or just make some rolls against the Wu Ming and kill him. Hilariously, though, this doesn't actually work. And the Wu Ming's wounded, but tanks every other armor save and survives. But the Krakot is destroyed. So both of us having a little bit of bad luck when we've been committing orders into close combats. Suppression, assisted fire now going onto the Rushi from the Celestial Guard hacker, and then a ninja appears nearby to the YuJing. The YuJing is already in close combat with the Guilong. Ninja just has to move up to here and get into combat with the YuJing and eliminate him quite comfortably, quite easily by doing that. So here it comes, Ninja up into the close combat, destroys the YuJing, ends up here, and YuJing is destroyed. Besides that, just a bit more repositioning here from the Yanhuo and the Doctor, just being careful about it. And then we come into Ikari turn 2. So the Extreme Impetuous from the Tanko moves out, gets line of sight to a Guangxi, but can't hit him. I rolled so many dice with this guy throughout the game and missed everything. The Impetuous from my Krakot moves towards this Ninja, who's quite poorly positioned here, and the Red Fury Ninja just goes off here and manages to get a crit on the Ninja and kills him. So that's at least a start. What we can do now is just reposition a couple of things. So the Tanko moving out with the Link team and getting to a spot where we can get line of sight to some of the loose Guangxi out and about there. By the way, guys, I actually have my own ninja, which I forgot to tell you during the deployment zone. He's over here, and he'll be useful very shortly. So Tanko moving out to blow up some Guangxi, and then just repositioning in a spot where he's got a bit of a rain down to the right-hand flank and to the left-hand flank here. I can't give you a bit more of an overview in this photo, but he's improved his positioning, shall we say. Okay, so everybody's happy with where they're standing now. All right. So what we do next is we move over with the Krakot, and the Krakot's plan is to move all the way around here, get into close combat with the Sujian and destroy the Sujian, which should be really easy because the Krakot is CC21. He'll have an additional dice with the help of the Wu Ming there, And if he, especially if he uses chest mines or something like that, it's going to easily allow him to get crits. He doesn't need to berserk because he doesn't want to trade with the Sujian, and he's got to get through 3 wounds worth. So that's rather awkward. Finally, the Krakot does get into close combat and has an attempt at the Sujian, but would you believe it? I certainly couldn't believe it at the time, but the Krakot rolls 2 extremely low numbers on his dice, and the Sujian wins the close combat. Because it's not a berserk, so just face-to-face roll, Krakot's destroyed, which was just mind-exploding. So Desperado has failed, even with the assistance of the Wu Ming. Krakot has failed, even with the assistance of the Wu Ming. So luck really just going down the gurgler this game. If I'd managed to destroy the this model here and then move out with the Wu Ming a little bit, that would put me in a seriously advantageous position. I might even be able to get to a spot where I kill his data tracker, and then I'm way ahead on points as well. Ninja now moving out. So Ninja doesn't have enough orders to make it to that combat with the Sujian, but it does have just enough orders to move from this position all the way over to here, up the stairs, and attack the Guilang, which is the top of the staircase. So because I have just enough to be able to accomplish that, Ninja moves in, destroys the Guilang, and we're happy. The Guilang does plant a mine instead of arrowing, which is the correct choice. Just means that Ninja's locked down and can't do anything else unless it wants to try and dodge this mine. And then, yep, here's our setup. I've just moved the Brawler a little bit closer to the Link team with the help of the Lieutenant order. Wow, so YuJing turn 2, again, they are up against this one Tanko who, for his points, is doing a really good job just firing his contender long range and everything. But as I said earlier, every single time he fires an arrow, he misses, just rolls a 17 or something. So just really shocking. It's not a bad model. In fact, it's the opportunity provided to this model was just really surprising this game. I want to keep taking this particular guy, but his luck has just been atrocious, so not great. So again, the swarms of Guangxi and Shaolin Monk over here, again trying to push through. We do have a Guangxi being knocked unconscious by a contender finally, although this guy does get revived later. Lieutenant hanging out here with the data tracker, just repositioning and moving over to revive the Shaolin Monk, and he's also able to use the Palbot on the other side of the battle to revive that Guangxi that we just saw fall unconscious. As it's shown over here, Guangxi is back up from death again. And now the Rui Shi moving out to try and get some kills. So it's basically Rui Shi able to move out and potentially go suppression fire or shoot over here and kill the Warcore if needed, just setting up a better angle for him. Decides better of it though, and decides actually to move out back to the middle of his deployment zone and go into suppression fire just to help defend the angles that might go after his data tracker, because that's worth quite a lot of objective points, 2 points to be exact, which is significant. So he's going into suppression fire with the Rui Shi there, and just mounting a defense, basically. We've also got the Shaolin Monk alive. Tanko still blapping off contender shots, but getting nothing done. So it's time for Ikari turn 3, the final Ikari turn. And we're down on points a little bit here, but the game can still be won if we just move over and blow up his data tracker, which should actually be easy to do because I've got a plan here where I can engage the Rui Shi at long range with the missile launcher, kill it, then move forward, engage his data tracker, kill it, and still have a couple of orders left to pull back. Because even though I've taken a couple of casualties, Group 1 still has a lot of orders. I'm able to move one of them, one of the Group 2's orders to Group 1. So I've got about 7 or 8 orders to do this with. So I'm feeling pretty confident that I could at least take out a couple of orders on his side. Even if he's got a few more army points than me at the end of the game, that data tracker kill should be good. Just as long as I keep my own data tracker alive, and sadly, I have to bring him with me through the push. So I have to end the turn where the data tracker is going to be somewhere that's okay. After some running, everybody brings around to here, the Rui Shi firing long range against the missile launcher. So for me, it's 16s on 2 dice. For him, it's 9s on 1 dice because it's out of suppression fire range, which ends somewhere around here. So the missile launcher easily able to explode the Rui Shi. Then it's a matter of just moving through this LOA here and keeping the Tanko out of range of his Celestial Guard hacker, which isn't too hard to do. And then we've also moved the Kaisotsu data tracker over behind this dumpster here. So it's going to be a 4-man link team while the data tracker leaves the link and just goes and hides because we don't want him to kill our data tracker. Otherwise, it's everything all is for naught effectively. So in the climactic moment of the game, Kaisotsu, represented by the Shaolin monk, moves around to here, gets line of sight just to this model only, and fires at it. So we've got 4 dice because it's 4-man link team, additional burst, ballistic skill 10 only from the Kaisotsu plus 3 for range, so 4 dice on 13s. And then from the Doctor, ballistic skill 11 plus range is 1 dice on a 14. So odds are that the Kaisotsu should be able to kill it. If it doesn't with his order, I've got more orders to spend. But my opponent on the very first arrow rolls a crit. Just rolls the 14. So the Kaisotsu's dead. The link team's broken. I've got no more command tokens to reform the link. And that is just game breaking right there. So after a lot of bad luck in this game, it gets even unluckier. And the Kaisotsu's just killed. I tried to move in with the missile launcher. I took a photo of me thinking about doing this, decided against it. So you can see the magic act here of me disappearing the Tanko between shots. Decided not to do it with the Tanko, and instead decided to do it with the other Kaisotsu. Moves through, just 3 dice now, ballistic skill 10. Does manage to kill a data tracker after that, but I'm down on points. I'm in a really bad position. We've got a Tanko out here still, again, failing every shot that he takes. Gets around to a position, not that he gains cover because he's impetuous, but he should be able to guts prone behind this if he gets attacked. Whew, okay, so my opponent doing exactly that. It's his turn, impetuous, contender shots from the Tanko, still killing nothing. Moves out with a Shaolin monk, has a go at my link team, everybody dodges effectively. The other guy, moving out now, just past this Tanko to trying to go into close combat with my my Wu-Ming. So walks past the Tanko, takes a missile, moves into close combat, tries to hit the Wu-Ming. Hilariously, the Wu-Ming tanks the armor save and lives. So everything that's tried to go into this close combat has died. The Desperado, the Krakot, now this particular Shaolin monk, everything that's thrown itself into the swirling melee between these two models has been destroyed, which is quite comical. Just retreating now, I believe, with a couple of his troopers rather than dying. Can't quite remember what happened in this photo, but he does decide to move out with the big boy, the Yanhuo HRMC, and just moves onto the roof, actually climbing up there and moving over to here just to get line of sight of the models on the ground. Blows up the Tanko, blows up the Kaisotsu. Bear in mind that if I'd been able to kill his data tracker with the first attempt, I should have been able to actually move some of my guys away into better spots, but that didn't happen. Also moving to a spot around here where he can actually kill my Tanko with his HRMC as well. I believe the Tanko managed to duck into cover after that. Guangxi moving into the last couple of troopers here. Everybody just dodging for dear life. And right at the end of the game, very last order, the Sujian attempting to attack in close combat, because if he wins, the Wu-Ming dies, and if he loses, he's got NWI, so he won't lose the points. But again, the Wu-Ming lives. Just manages to shrug this off. So it turned out to be an extremely close game. My opponent won this game by, it turned out by like 5 points, or 5 or 10 points. If I had managed to kill Kaisotsu with my Tanko, just something as simple as that, would have been a draw. Having said that, I made a couple of mistakes in this game, but I do feel like I lost mostly because of bad luck. I mean, had the dice been a little bit less variable, if it had been a little bit more average, I think that I would have been able to actually kill the Guilang a bit earlier with the Yuanyuan. I should have been able to get some damage on that Sujian a bit earlier. I could have stalled his counterattack a bit longer with the Wu-Ming. The Tanko with the Flaming Spear and Contender would have done a lot more damage. So I did get the lion's share of the bad luck. But I also believe I could have played a couple of things a little bit better. And the list, yes, I do like the Wu-Ming with the HMG, and I do like the Wu-Ming with the chain rifle and SMG. But I'm starting to write some other lists now which take them out and go back to the Tankos. I might even try a list that has the Tanko Light Shotgun, Tanko Flaming Spear in the Harish team with the Brawler. But we'll have some more games soon. I'm still getting used to this faction. I'm having more and more ideas about how to play them more effectively. I think it's important not to be too greedy with the Harish push. In the first couple of games I played with them, You know, the first game was, you know, right off the bat, went really well. Second game I played, I went down the flank, but on the second turn, I just need to be a bit more, bit smarter with that Haris team. Other than that, though, still really enjoying the Ikari, and I hope you guys are as well. I'll definitely have some more games for you with the Ikari pretty soon.